welcome to the first annual Kawaii-Fi Anime Awards, live from Kawaii-Fi Studio number 3. It is a night to celebrate the best of Japanese animation throughout the year. From isekai misadventures and shonen heroes, to short-form romances and questionable animation budgets. Will your favorite take home the coveted golden kawaii fu? And who will receive the cabbage of shame? Let's find out. Here are your hosts, Kyle, Coco, and Kenny.
Thank you.
Hey everyone!
Konnichiwa, and thank you so much for joining us on Kawaii-Fi's Night of Nights.
It's so great to have you all here. How did you all fit into the studio?
Yeah, it's a hot night here in Studio 3. We're sweating buckets already under these lights. But don't worry, we'll manage it. We'll weather this storm. We'll weather with you.
Did you just...
Yes, folks. I've got plenty more where that came from. But guys, you're looking pretty slick tonight. Are they new suits?
I wish. I got this at an op shop.
Mine came with a football.
Kenny, now that I'm looking, where's the bottom half of your suit?
Oh, it's pretty hot in the studio, so I decided to wear shorts. They're comfy and easy to wear.
Okay, so we should probably explain how these finalists were selected. We set aside some very specific rules for how the Kawaii-Fi Anime Awards would work, and as it's our first one, we'll explain these rules in full. So, an anime must have aired this year in Japan for the first time.
Which means no continuing series, of course.
Which, you know, there are some wonderful ones there, but they will get their chances later.
Yes, indeed.
Judges each award 3 points to their first pick, 2 points to their second, and 1 to their third.
And nothing to the
last one.
To the last one.
Now, series must have been able to be viewed, and each category will have 4 finalists. As you mentioned, one will have 0 points at the end. And anime films must have had a proper international release. This does not include festivals. This means it has to have ended up in a cinema. The awards will never include X-rated shows or shows with a focus on heavy fan service.
I mean, it kind of goes without saying for our general style.
Yeah, it's just, to be honest, it just doesn't have the story compelling, you know. You're not going to see that sort of stuff at the Oscars.
Except for one that I'm thinking of, but we're not going to get into that.
Well, we're not.
So,
Finalist with the highest combined score wins the category. If there is a tie on points, the tied finalists are declared joint victors.
And we
so
can-
everyone wins.
Everybody wins.
Well, we can fight it out in the studio.
We can,
I'm sure
violently.
the audience wants to see that.
Oh, of course. Which does bring us to our very first section. We are going to be talking, and we'll do one of these each section, about the best opening of the year. And we decided there's far too many this year.
Yes.
So we split it up by season. And it was still too difficult.
Oh,
It truly
my
was.
Goodness. It was not easy.
No, it was not. So let's start off with the winter anime season, which ran from January through to May.
And we're going to go on to the best opening for this, aren't we?
Didn't run through to May.
Didn't it?
It was to March.
Gonna be May.
May. Anyway, let us start with our first contender. It was Love Dramatic by Masayuki Suzuki from Kaguya-sama, Love is War.
Oh, love me, mister. Oh, mister. 夢じゃないなら聞かせてね、mister. もう mister.
Also in the category, Touch Off by Overworld, which was used for Promised Neverland. And KN by Ziyu Vachi, which was the opening theme for Dororo, a classic reimagined. And finally, rounding out our 4, Wagamama der Gomakasanide by The Oral Cigarettes, which was the theme tune for CG anime series Revisions.
I wonder wonder if the audience could hear us singing along to a lot of those.
I
A
think
little
you
bit.
could. So these for all, let's be honest, every segment this year has had a very tough category, and these were the four we managed to whittle down. But because of that, we do have to give an honourable mention to another song that also opened in winter, and that was Domestic Girlfriend, Kawaki wo Ameku by Minami. And that song was incredible. So
was a
much
good
power,
song.
especially for a breakout one. Now, I have the vaunted envelope, and I think we need to drum roll for this.
He's got the envelope. He's got the envelope.
And the winner is Love Dramatic.
Woo!
Allow me, mister, oh mister, you
Now, if you didn't see this show, wow.
I'm
mean-
happy with this.
Kaguya-sama was one of our greatest favorites this year, and that opening theme, it looks like a Bond movie opening.
It does. And now,
incredible.
just so people do realize, the way we have voted on these is not just on how good the song is, but how good the visuals match it, both feel-wise and visibly how good it looks.
Does it evoke an emotion? Does it stay with you? Wouldn't you listen to it on your iPod?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you still have an iPod?
I do. I'm determined not to let it go.
But that does move us on to our first category of the night. Sound and visuals.
And we will be starting, of course, with the best soundtrack.
Now, this was difficult.
We actually had to go back and rewatch a bunch of animes
did.
just to listen to the background music, to know that the music was, matching
It was.
everything that we saw on the screen was perfectly suited.
It was. So, what are our finalists, our top four? And I believe we do also have an honourable mention for this one too.
Yes, indeed. Our top four are Vinland Saga, Carol and Tuesday, Kaguya-sama, Love is War,
Again.
and Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Kaiba. And the honourable mention would be given to Given.
Oh,
I
is
see
this?
what you did there.
Well-
That was a beautiful.
I have the envelope right in front of me.
Ooh, drum roll, please. It's exciting. And the winner is Vinland Saga.
Yay!
Whoa!
I am happy with that.
Wow,
Very
was that
much
a
so.
unanimous vote? It wasn't. Ooh.
It wasn't?
We had a very close contender in Carol and Tuesday, 1 point behind.
Oh.
That's impressive.
No,
That's
impressive.
and that actually feels quite right.
well, considering how strongly the music in that show performed, it says a lot, doesn't it?
Quite indeed.
So, anyway, we need to get on to the next one, which is
Yes.
not so much audio, but a bit more.
So this one is Best Animation, which includes the flow of movement when you're watching a show. And as all, it was hard to decide, but we've got our top four, which are Ahira no Sora, Promised Netherland, Dororo, and Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Kaiba. And, drumroll please.
The golden envelope is being passed to Coco.
The winner is Dororo!
Woo! That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool, actually. And
It's
that
probably-
is one that I voted for.
Yeah, it's probably worth mentioning at this point as well that we did get a independent adjudicator to go and tally up our votes for this to make sure none of us knew
Yes.
what was going to happen. This brings us to one which I think will cause some conversation
Yes.
because we saw a lot of beautiful art this year.
Oh, it's a great day. It's a great time to be alive.
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
have
It is.
all of this new anime coming in.
Now, this is for the best art and visual style, and this is the overall look of the show along with the quality of its art. The finalists were O Maidens in Your Savage Season, Sarah Zanmai, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Kaiba, and Dororo.
Oh.
And I have it in front of me. Oh! We have a draw.
Oh.
O Maidens in Your Savage Season and Dororo
Oh.
share the award.
Oh.
Which is if you have
Awesome.
seen either of these shows, holy cow.
They are quite unique from one another and quite unique in their visual style from practically anything else I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, Dororo in particular, Oh Maidens was just spectacular
I fell
all the
in
way
love.
through. But Dororo was so unique. We haven't seen very many shows that embody that old school style. Admittedly, this is literally an original Tezuka.
Yes.
So,
reimagined in glorious 2019 capability.
I remember we sat down and watched the original opening for old school Dororo, and oh, how adorable it was. How very Astro Boyish it was.
Yeah, it definitely was. But that does take us to another Best Art Award. So that was the Best Art and Visual Style for a series. We now need to talk about the Best Art and Visual Style in a feature film. Kenny, I believe you have the envelope for this
It
one.
was a
and the
privilege to go and
winners.
see most of these in cinemas.
Now, we have 4 nominees. No honourable mentions this time, but,
I did want to mention one.
well, we'll get to that. You can
Yes.
make an honourable
Yes,
mention afterwards.
I will.
We have Weathering with You,
Mm-hmm.
Children of the Sea, Ride Your Wave, and Promare.
Oh, Promare was wow.
Children of the Sea was wow.
All of them were
All
wow.
of them were wow.
Now, I'm going to wager a bet here that the series, the film you're going to talk about, starts with D and ends with Y.
Yes.
Oh, what
It
a surprise.
does.
Please enlighten
It
us on
does.
what would be your
So-
honourable mention.
Dragon Ball Super's Broly film that came out earlier.
Yes,
My
indeed.
goodness, it did not stop, and that fight scene, and he just keeps on. I love it. I love it.
It showed me something I had never seen before in a first-person's perspective of what a Dragon Ball fight is like.
Yeah.
It's a first person's perspective of being punched through a mountain.
Yeah.
And
that's,
Frieza got a first-person's perspective in becoming Yamcha.
He did, didn't he? Poor Frieza.
dear.
For a moment.
So, should we announce the winner?
We must. And the winner is... Oh, it is a wow. Weathering with You.
Oh! That is pretty impressive.
and
A
it
close-
is a pretty impressive
That
film.
one was... a close second to that one was Children of the Sea.
Oh, which we saw the other week. That was absolutely insane.
I feel like I voted for Children of the Sea. Just the hand. Did I?
You voted Weathering with You. Both of you voted Weathering with You top and Children of the Sea second. I was the other way around.
Fair enough. Interesting.
Okay. Now this brings us to
Best
the
use of CG.
which is our
Sorry.
last category of this segment for sound and visuals.
Lovely.
What are the
lovely.
nominees, please, Coco?
So we have Revisions, Africa Salaryman, Beastars, and Price of Smiles.
Now, there was quite a lot of interesting use of CG this year, but let's have a drum roll, please. Thank you, conductor, sir.
Ooh, I think this is unanimous. Beastars.
Yes.
I mean,
was-
I feel like it had to be.
Yeah.
It-
Oh
it-
my
the crowd
gosh,
agrees.
everyone voted this exact same way.
Oh, wow, we
Everyone
did so.
voted Revision second, Africa Salaryman first. Oh,
Third.
Third.
I was going to say, well, there's been a
Price of
mistake with the
Smiles got
counting if
left.
that was first.
Price of Smiles was okay.
It was okay, but the story wasn't that compelling. And when you compared it with,
No, I can't really remember
Beastars,
too much.
just wow! The CG in that series is so incredible.
Not to mention the story. It's been... whoa.
I absolutely adored it. Well, look, thank you. You've all been a wonderful crowd. We'll be right back with more after this.
Kawaii-Fi Radio.
Welcome back to the Kawaii-Fi Anime Awards, coming to you once again from Kawaii-Fi Studio 3. I hope you all have some bubbly. I know I do. Please welcome back our hosts, Kyle, Coco, and Kenny, to present the next round of awards.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Can I just ask, where did we find that guy?
Fiverr.
Oh, wicked. Thanks, whoever your name, Narrator San. You're doing such a good job. We appreciate it. Have a drink.
Have one of us, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, chill out,
I've
relax.
i've
while
got a
you
really uncomfortable feeling that we might regret saying that.
It seems all right.
I don't know about that.
All right.
All right.
Anyway, let's move on. It is now time
It is springtime.
for everyone.
Yes,
But
it is.
not in Germany.
Yes, we just made Yes.
That was a producer's reference.
Yes, it was.
I can't word today.
You cannot
But
word today.
we are on
which
to-
is a terrible time to be on stage.
We are on to spring season.
And it is time to talk about the best opening for spring.
Yes, indeed. And we have some rather fantastic ones. Spring was a great season.
Mm-hmm. This was a hard one to choose, but we whittled it down. This, once again, does have an honourable mention.
We have Gurenge by Lisa.
どうしたって消せない夢も止まれない今も誰かのために強くなれるなら何度でも立ち上がれ
Demon Slayer, fantastic show.
Mm-hmm.
We also have Masara by Kana Boon for Sarazanmai.
だんだん遠くなって君を追いかけてく
And the opening for Carolyn Tuesday, Kiss Me by Nai BRXX and Selena Ann.
Kiss me before sunrise. Oh, I'm leaving you tonight. My love found a place to stay and rest like that.
And opening for short form anime Ao-chan Can't Study, Wonderful Wonderful by Edoga Sullivan.
せーのシャツから始まるカウント君に近づけるリミット 実に単純で快いなところゼロに近
And an honourable mention, of course, for the Fruits Basket opening.
Wow, in Fruits Basket's music has been so emotional this year.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, let's be honest. That is a car crash that you cannot stop watching.
It's true.
It really
It
is.
is true.
You
it's
seem to be
great.
fond of animes like that.
I do.
And now, envelope, please. And the winner for best opening for spring 2019 is... it's another tie.
Ooh.
Wonderful Wonderful by Edoga Sullivan and Kiss Me by Nai BRXX and Selena Ann.
before sunrise.
You can't argue with Carolyn Tuesday.
I don't think you can choose really.
You can't.
Like,
It's an anime which is about music, so of course it's going to be great. And Ao-chan Can't Study is just so upbeat. I love
It is. I love it. I mean, I know it was short form, but that had like 30 seconds less than most other animes to establish its audio, and it does it well.
Yeah, that was amazing.
It hits me in all the right spots. But this does mean
We're
moving on to our next big category. Characters.
Yes, the characters category. It's time to assess everyone who we've seen and figure out what we think and
Judge people
which is-
unfairly.
Yeah, all of that.
Oh,
And
I'm
we're
back in
s-
high school.
And we're going to start with the best female protagonist. And
Wait, why are we laughing at this?
No, they're laughing at you in your high school.
Yeah.
It was the
Hang on.
delayed reaction.
hang on, what'd you say? I missed it.
Never mind, it's all good. Let's move
Okay.
on.
So, best female protagonist. Let us give you the list and then we will cast our final judgment. So, we have Kaguya-sama from Love is War, Mine from Ascendance of a Bookworm, Emma from Promised Neverland, and Nanako from short form anime Senryu Girl.
There is also a special note to be had, and that's for Toru from Fruits Basket as well.
Yes, it is.
Envelope, please.
All right. Can I see this properly? Yes, I can. The winner is Kaguya-sama, Love is War.
Ooh, was that an anonymous victory?
A unanimous
unanimous?
victory? No, it wasn't, because I
Ah.
voted for Nanako, because I think she's adorable. But that's cool.
Kaguya,
let-
she's so formal, she's so refined, and she's as flawed as the rest of us.
She
She
is.
is. Let's
I
have a
love it.
look
Or more
at
so.
the opposite side of the coin with the best male protagonist. And there were a lot this year.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Admittedly, with the female protagonist, there weren't a massive amount, but the ones that came out were all really strong and really amazing. With male protagonists, we had a lot to choose from, and it'll probably be no surprise that most of them are from shonen shows. So, firstly, Vinland Saga's Thorfinn, Rigoshi from Beastars, Senku from Dr. Stone, and Hyakimaru from Dororo. And Oh, I've got the envelope here. The winner is Ragoshi from Beastars.
I'm so happy.
That's a very good win.
I love his character animation and the way he speaks and everything about him. It's
Yeah, and his inner monologue is really
amazing.
cool as well. Like he doubts himself so much.
I'm really starting to wonder how many awards Beastars is going to run away with.
Plenty.
Because
I'd
there
say.
is absolutely an opportunity that they could have a lovely big slog from this. But that does bring us to the supporting characters.
starting with the best female supporting characters. The nominees are Chika from Love is War,
Chica.
Makioze from Fire Force, Kohaku from Dr. Stone, and Raftalia from Shield Hero.
Okay, the envelope is here.
Exciting. And the winner is a tie. Chrome from Dr.
How did Chrome get into the female category?
Oh, no.
I have some serious
Oh,
concerns
dear.
about what he's been
We
doing.
know what we're doing. All right.
Wrong envelope.
Wrong
All right.
envelope.
Should we do another drum roll?
We're gonna need
I
another.
think
Let's
this
do
needs another drum roll because Chrome's ruined everything.
How could you,
Far out,
Chrome?
Chrome.
And the winner is Chika from Love is War.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
I was not expecting that.
That wasn't a unanimous vote either. This one looked like, oh, this was close across the board.
Who's
Wow.
next?
Raftalia from Shield Hero.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely a fair call.
I have a big soft spot for Makioze from Fire Force because she is a unit.
I've got to be honest, like, so much respect for her. She is
Yeah.
so cool. Such an amazing character, too. Okay, let's go back to the best male supporting character, which I think we've already ruined. But, Coco, who are our nominees?
Okay, so our nominees are Captain Akitaru Obi from Fire Force, Chrome from Dr. Stone,
Yeah.
Canute from Vinland Saga, and Ray from Promised Neverland.
There is an
And
honourable mention as well
There
for
is, there
Kaseki
is.
from Dr. Stone. And if you
Yes.
don't know him by name, he is the older gentleman who's doing all the crafting for them.
I was a big proponent of putting him like right in there, but we just
Yeah.
figured he's in a class of his own.
He is.
So we're
It would
going
be
to do
unfair
this.
if we put him in there. Now, we've already ruined this for you. But
But
we
let's pretend
know-
like we didn't.
Yes, we have.
Drum
so,
roll, please.
is it just one award?
It is a tie.
Oh my God, I'm so
between
surprised.
Chrome from Dr. Stone and Canute from Vinland Saga.
Ooh.
Hasn't
Ooh.
Canute come far?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
his
because
character has grown.
His development has been, oof.
Yeah.
It's been bonkers.
I do also love Captain Obi from Fire Force. I think he's amazing.
He is pretty cool.
I just love him whenever he's in the background in scenes. You see him not just lifting, but balancing the things ordinary people would lift.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Just-
he's a bit.
Just why not?
Wow.
Why
like-
wouldn't you?
A fitness
Just-
freak of the
When
highest
you're
order.
a Fire Force
Second highest order.
captain.
Mm.
Yeah.
Now, this does bring us
Oh, to the fun ones.
to the villains.
Yes.
Those we love to hate.
The ones which have once again ended up in the wrong order in the envelope as well,
Oh.
which I have now corrected by their head. So, let us talk
Is it still a
about the
surprise?
best female villain.
There was some doozies.
There was Mine from Shield Hero, Sister Crone and Mother Isabel from Neverland, Promised Neverland. Now they have been entered on a double ticket because essentially they are the same type of character, which
Similar,
I think
yes.
is fair enough. You were a big proponent for this one, Coco. Hina from Domestic Girlfriend,
Total
and
villain.
Akito from Fruits Basket, i.e. the Snake Lady. And our best female villain is...
Alright.
Ooh! Mother Isabel and Sister Crone from Promised Netherland on 8
Okay.
votes.
They
be
were
fair-
utterly terrifying.
They were.
To be fair, yeah, they freaked me out. When I watched that show, I was just like, I have no idea what these girls are going to do.
I can see you went full out here to put Hina in there.
I just hate her. I just think that, look, like,
just hate her so
okay,
much.
So, all right, so maybe I do need to dial back on that because she is still only in her early 20s, and the 20s are when you sort of like work yourself out, but you should be worked out well enough when you're teaching underage kids to not want to,
Yep, that's a
hook up with
fair
them.
call.
Just,
That show.
Yes.
Looking forward to this one though. This one.
I guess
Now
the
this-
best male villains.
This will be exciting. And to avoid any more muck-ups, I'm going to double-check that we've got things in the right order here. Yes, things are looking glorious.
Hurrah.
Wonderful. Okay, Kenny, please enlighten us on the nominees for Best Male Villain.
Our nominees are Askeladd from Vinland Saga, Talmaru Daigo from Dororo, Altcray Melomark the 32nd, the King from Shield Hero.
32nd.
Yeah.
He's been around for a while.
Muzan Kibutsuchi from Demon Slayer.
And I believe we have another very honourable mention, a
Oh,
demonic
this one.
honourable mention that if it was allowed into the category, it would win.
It was.
It's the
We
evilest-
watched this later in the season, but this is by far one of the most malevolent forces of pure evil we've ever seen. Bench-kun from Oresuki.
Yeah, Bench-kun is literally
Evil.
the
Pure
epitome of pure evil.
Evil.
You might think that Muzan from Demon Slayer is like a silent but deadly kind of creature. No, Bench-kun.
He
is far
hides
more
in
silent.
plain sight.
Yeah, he just appears when you least expect him.
Yeah, and
It's
then
terrifying.
yeah, once you see it,
However,
insane.
we cannot give an award to an inanimate object.
feel like we should, but anyway.
So that does leave us with our final four. And
Envelope,
Kenny,
please.
the envelope is in front. This time it's in the right order.
And
Please
the
enlighten
winner
me.
for Best Male Villain is Askeladd, Vinland Saga. That was a unanimous vote.
Yeah, I think that's... the
He's
crowd
a legend.
agrees. The crowd agrees.
I just
Askeladd is both a hero and a villain in my eyes.
You want to see Thorfinn beat him, but you also want to see just how far this man will go.
I don't want to see Thorfinn beat him anymore. I want to see him on that ship again, traveling over the hills. I want him to loot and plunder to his heart's content until his
One of
days
the
are
best
done.
moments this year.
One of the best moments this year,
Oh.
which we will get to as part of the Red Line Award,
Yes, and the next
Now.
one we're getting to.
is the best relationship. And Coco, I believe you've got the envelope for this one.
Yes, I certainly do in my hot little hands. So, the nominees are Rika Sonizaki and Amagiri Shun from O Maidens in Your Savage Season, Nanako and Eiji from Senryu Girl, Kaguya and Miyuki from Love is War, and Uenoyama and Sato from Given.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
So,
So beautiful.
let's hop to it. Drum roll. Winner is... I'm so happy. Nanako and Eiji from
Aw.
Senryu Girl. That is so sweet.
Another
That was-
comfy series.
That was very close. And I was a big fan of Rika and
Amagiri
Shun,
from-
but
Who was
Yeah.
the second place by interest?
It was Uenoyama and Sato.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
Well, to be
Yeah.
honest, that was a beautiful story.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It was.
and we can't wait to keep on watching
I was
that.
so happy when you guys finally got up to episode 9.
Oh, it's stunning.
Now, this one is special. This is the Sakamoto Award for most memorable character.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-da.
The nominees are Machio from How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift,
Of course. Machio.
Senku from Dr. Stone, Nezuko from Demon Slayer, and Thorkel from Vinland Saga. And this is a
AKA
big one.
Nappa.
Nappa.
Finland Nappa.
Vinland Nappa. And the winner is a tie!
Oh!
Machio from How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift, and Senku from Dr. Stone!
Yay!
Who has bagpipes?
Senku was not here to receive his award, but the bagpipes took it for him.
That's good. Can I, before we go on, I'd like to say, I feel like, I know that I did mention that Thorkel, or Torkel, is the Nappa, the Vinland Nappa. And I do feel like Askeladd is the Vinland Vegeta.
Well, I would like to go further and say that they're the Vinland Asterix and Obelix.
Oh, yes!
That's a little bit perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
What a reference.
That, yeah.
Oh,
Digging deep
They are
into the
perfect, aren't they?
culturalism there.
I love them.
So, we will be right back after this brief break.
Kawaii-Fi Radio.
I must say, this bubbly is quite dark. Patricia, why don't you go and send for more of it? Yes, get that little work experience boy to go. Yes, he'll do. Oh, Oh, and welcome back to the Kawaii-Fi Anime Awards. What did you think of that last round? Plenty of reasons to celebrate, eh? Or to cry if you lost. Well, more is on the way. Returning to the stage is Kyle, Coco, and Kenny to present the best opening of the summer season. This will be a tough one.
It will be. Thank you. Thank you, Narrator-san.
Thanks, guys, and thank you, Narrator-san. He does seem to have taken our advice a bit too much to heart. But
I mean, it's an open bar. You know.
yeah,
I mean, can you really blame him? I mean,
No.
a good open bar is hard to find in this day and age,
It
especially
is.
where it hasn't just got like $5 beers.
And a night like this is worth
Yep.
celebrating.
it is. Let's kick on with the best opening for summer.
Now, this was a very tough category, we do
This
have to say.
Was one of the hardest. This is the one that I was like, not later, and skipped off to the next
Yeah.
ones. So yes, we have 4 nominees and 2 honourable mentions.
2. Yes, that's right, yes.
So I'll start with the nominees. The first one is Inferno by Mrs. Green Apple from Fire Force.
It's so hard not to dance to that.
rockin'. Next one is Good Morning World by Burnout Syndromes from Dr. Stone.
おはよう世界 Good morning world 不可能の闇を払って神話を日常に変えて
How are those drums?
So amazing.
Yeah, incredible. Mukanjyo is the next by Survive Said the Prophet from Vinland Saga.
Giving up everything
'Cause
If
with
you
the
guys read
visuals.
the lyrics for that, whoa.
Yeah, wow.
It's incredible. And the last one, a little less serious, Why Moon Does Cry by VA Cast from Wasteful Days of High School Girls.
マイクテッ JK なんだって OK everyday ワームンダスクライ息吸ってワームンダスクライシースラーメンとんかつなんでも食べたくなる BGM 個性は絶対出し惜しみしない
That
Love
for
it.
me, like, if I had to pick one OP of the year, I'd
That's
be very
incredible.
hard to not pick that.
It sounds a tad random if it's just out of
It
context
is.
like that, but if you watch it with this whole visuals and
Which is
knowledge,
what this is all about.
And for some strange reason, so if you grew up in Australia in the early 90s, you may have come across a show called Lift Off. It was a very
is-
interesting show.
that
The
is showing your
backpacks
age.
talked. And for some reason, that opening, One Moon
Reminds you
Does
of it.
Cry, and the visuals reminds me of Lift Off. I have 2 mentions before I go to the winner. One is how heavy are the dumbbells you lift, because it is just so darn catchy.
It is. And
And-
once again, that's another one with the cast singing it too.
And O Maidens in Your Savage Season, their
Oh.
opening gives me goosebumps every time.
Yep, that is
without
fair.
fail.
All right, here's the envelope.
Ooh, all right.
we said that a lot.
The winner is Inferno by Mrs. Green Apple from Fire Force.
Too good.
It knocks it out the park.
It
just
does.
with the visuals of the opening. Oh,
Gets you
Oh,
know
that was a
everything you
close
know.
category. There was nothing which didn't get a vote.
yeah. You're
That's
right,
that's
actually.
impressive, actually.
The next one was Ohayo Sekai.
Good morning,
Good morning, world. Followed by Mukanjyo.
Now,
Woman Does Cry.
that does bring us to our next major category. Best in category. And we do have to start with the best short form.
Mm-hmm.
And this year was a bit odd. Last year we had a lot of notable short form, but
Had them
this
coming
year
out areas.
we did. This year there's
Hasn't been as many this year, has
Precious
there?
few.
well, there's been about 10, but not all of them have been noteworthy. Some of them have been messy, some of them have had questionable content, and some of them have just downright made no sense.
A few of them were just based on mobile games, if I recall.
Oh, we had full series based on mobile games this
There
year.
were. That was interesting.
So, we are going to talk the best short form animes. Now, first we have Isekai Quartet. And Isekai Quartet was a crossover show, completely original, connecting many different shows, including
Saga of Tanya the Evil,
Saga of Tanya the Evil,
Konosuba, ReZero,
and
Overlord.
Overlord.
Yeah, was it
Yes.
written by the guy who wrote Konosuba?
Yes, it was. He
Okay.
managed to get all the characters together because they all appear in the same
Which
magazine.
is such a fantastic
Mhm.
achievement of it in its own right. I believe Shield Hero is going to appear
Yes,
in
they
the
are
next
appearing in
series.
season 2.
Oh, wicked.
Yes, which is, I believe, actually in January or April, I
So,
believe. one of
will
the
it
seasons.
become a quintet, or will someone leave for it to become a quartet? To remain a quartet, I should say.
I'm voting Tanya off the island. No.
I do like Overlord.
So, Isekai Quartet. Ao-chan Can't Study,
Poor Al.
Yatagame-chan Observation Diary, and Senryu Girl. And the winner, with 8 points out of a possible 9, is Senryu Girl. Yes.
Yay!
With
It is so
Ao-chan
lovely.
on 7, 1 point behind. So that
Ao-chan
says
was
about
good.
how good it was.
Hapasai was in it.
He
so-
basically was New Age Hapasite. It was amazing. If you don't know who that is, watch some Ranma and a half. You'll find out soon.
Yeah, whether
Um,
you want to or not.
Now,
Do you ever wonder if there was a real life Hapasai to inspire those characters?
yes,
I'd say
there
there'd been a
definitely
few.
was. There definitely is a few.
The horror.
This brings us to our next category, Kenny.
Yes, the best crime and mystery. Some fantastic contenders this year, actually.
I know one of them we actually caught quite late as well.
Yeah, it was hard to actually track that down, but it was... Oh, immediately hooked you. The nominees, of course, are Copcraft, Promised Neverland, Astra Lost in Space, or Plot Twist After Plot Twist, and Babylon.
Ooh.
The winner is... Whoa. Babylon is the winner.
Whoa.
What?
We only saw a few episodes of that. We were only able to get our hands on a few, and
It certainly left an impact on me.
I mean, it was based off a novel rather than an anime, not even of a light novel. So
But this was a tough category to split. There's only 3 points between all 4 of them.
that's true. Yes.
It's surprising.
The close second was Astra Lost in Space,
Yeah.
unsurprisingly.
Which
That
is
was a
definitely
saga.
notable.
That
It
was
was. It
beautiful.
was. And that brings us to the best
Yes.
or the worst drama, depending on the people you
Depending
talk to.
on what you think. Yeah.
Depending on what drama you like.
Is a good drama one that makes you feel anxious about what's going to happen next, or is that a bad drama because you don't like feeling anxious about what happens? I don't
Column A, column
know.
B.
It's So
It is
we're going to
hard to
go
know.
best drama, and we've got 4 nominees
We do.
as usual. No special mentions.
No special mentions.
So the nominees are Domestic Girlfriend.
I.e., my favourite dumpster fire.
We've got Given as well.
Mm.
O Maidens in Your Savage Season, and Drama Fest Fruits Basket. I have to say Domestic Girlfriend as well. The winner is... Just dropped my stuff. All right, the winner is... Given!
Yes, that's fantastic.
One of the first yaoi series I've ever watched, and
Well, it's not technically yaoi. It's ao shonen.
oh yes,
It's I don't
Does that
know.
mean blue? Is our blue?
Yeah, Blue Shonen. The label it's written on is Blue Links, which is an entirely new label, and there's now like going to be, I think, 5 different projects from it next year.
I would
fantastic.
like to see
Mm.
legitimate same-sex relationships portrayed more widely on anime, and not just for fan service. Like, I think that's why it's not called yaoi, because that's
Yeah.
just for
It's
that's
considered
just for
fan
fan
service,
service,
yeah.
isn't it?
Indeed,
But this
yes.
is like,
you are very right. Sorry
yeah,
about
this is an
Mhm.
actual legit story. So
It's a beautiful story. Just wow.
anyone LGBTQI is new to anime, this might be a nice way to sort
Yeah.
of, feel like you'd actually do belong in
Yeah.
such a large
Hey,
sort
yeah.
of world.
Definitely.
Yes.
Well, that brings us to the best comedy.
This is
And
What
this
to choose from.
this was pretty hotly contested
this was
because
so hard. God.
There were some we just couldn't stop laughing at the entire way through.
Yeah.
And there were occasions where they pushed it too far and occasions where you thought they could have gone further.
And then we're like, the reasons that we're laughing, does this constitute the same as like laughing for a anyway, I'm just getting too much into it.
You are.
Too deeply philosophical into the nature of comedy.
Our nominees for Best Comedy are Love is War, Africa Salaryman,
Hey.
Wasteful Days of High School Girls, and Welcome to Demon School, Aruma-kun.
Oh, boy.
And the winner is... Oh, you're going to like this. Love is War, with a unanimous victory.
We loved that one to death.
We did.
I feel like we're going to give that one too many awards.
There is a potential for that.
That one there was a special mention in that category, I believe.
Oh, yes, for Orosuki as
Orosuki.
well, which
Yes,
we did
the
forget
one
to
where
mention.
one of the special mention, greatest villain comes
Yes,
from.
it does have the
Bench
great
con.
Now, Kenny,
Yes.
was your school life the best?
Oh, gods no.
But was the school life the best?
Oh, gods no. But for different reasons.
If only school life was real life sometimes. Not for all of them, obviously, but yeah, no.
I'd prefer an isekai myself.
Yeah. So, enlighten us. What is
the-
our best school life category?
The nominees for the best school life are Love is War, Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun, Wasteful Days of High School Girls, and Orosuki again.
Oh, Orosuki made it into a bracket. This could be very dangerous.
It was a late entry.
And the winners are...
Wasteful Days of High School Girls.
Yes! Yes!
I'll note that Love is War came in at a not too close second on that one.
Not too close.
2 points
Our
difference.
audience are happy with that as well.
Yes,
Thank
indeed.
you, audience. We've
You're
chosen
wonderful.
well.
You're a
Thank
best
you.
audience.
Wasteful Days of High School Girl is just an exceptionally random comedy.
It really is.
And I feel like it was actually quite... Like, when I was in high school, there was a lot of randomness around. And
A lot
that's
of
one thing that
characters,
a lot of people miss out on when they think back to school life. They'll
Yeah.
put people in very specific, like, easy categories.
Yeah.
But, like, what about the randoms?
Like
the
Baka
complete... Yeah.
In Wasteful Days of High School Girls.
She's just chaotic neutral. And that's what a lot of people are like. Like, they're trying to find their boundaries. So they're just, you know.
I have to find myself wondering, are any of these stories or characters in that show based on actual events?
It does say that they're not,
reckon.
because it's based off a manga. But I
But-
wouldn't be surprised. Often mangas are inspired by real life events
We
and
need to
insanity.
find the manga writer.
We
and
do.
ask them.
We definitely do. That brings us to the other side of the schools.
Yes, the
The-
club,
Mm.
the sports.
It
Very
is.
important in Japanese culture, it seems,
Yeah.
if anime is to tell us anything.
And along with the myriad of baseball animes that we had this year, there have also been very many others. And Coco, I believe you have a rather interesting list.
Yes, I do. So we've got 4 nominees. The first one is our Hero no Sora, which is the basketball anime.
Oh, that
is
the
very
animation
good.
and just everything that was amazing.
Very unique.
So that's a school club. Then we've got After School Dice Club,
Oh,
which
that was
is
this season, wasn't it?
real nice and comfy. It's about board games and
They're not on motorcycles,
uh,
are they?
no, they're not.
Now that's a reference.
And then we've got Beastars because, of course, they're all in the drama club.
Be Star My Billing Heart.
And also we've got O Maidens in your Savage season who are in a literature club.
Well,
May I have drum roll, please? The winner is unanimous. A Hero no Sora.
Hey!
oh,
That's great. That one very much reminded me of...
Very popular with the crowd.
Yes, they
Very
love it, don't they? The second one was O Maidens in your Savage season.
Was it very much between them?
2 points.
Ooh.
Actually, no.
No, that's a big jump. Ooh.
There's 4 points.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
If Heroes no
Everyone
Sora was
voted.
unanimous.
That's pretty good. That's pretty
Yes.
good. Okay.
There we go. So
We need to head somewhere a bit spooky now.
head.
It's not the Twilight Zone, but it's close enough. It is the best supernatural series. And we had some pretty unusual ones this year. I won't beat around the bush. There was some very strange shows this year.
They'll only get stranger if anime's told me anything else.
Yeah. And, you know, if anime's told me anything else, it means we'll also get another 6 Sherlock Holmes series as well.
Yeah, what's with that?
Yeah. For Best Supernatural, our nominees are Sarazanmai, Midnight Occult Civil Servants, Demon Slayer, and Dororo. And the winner.
I have a feeling.
That's not going to be a good night. The winner is Dororo.
Yes.
Almost
My feeling
unanimous.
was right.
Beautiful.
What was the second one?
Demon Slayer, Kimetsu
Hey.
no Yaiba. Which is good. I can't argue with that. It is very nice.
Dororo is incredible.
It is. And if you haven't
Absolutely.
seen it, check it out. My word. Wow.
Yes. Let's move on to best sci-fi with Kenny.
Yes. Space, lasers, aliens,
The
and
Final
all other
Frontier.
weird bleep. Our nominees are Revisions, Astra Lost in Space, No Guns Life, where there is a man with a gun for his head.
And it's why we watch anime.
Oh
yes,
yeah.
absolutely. And The Price of Smiles. Mecha anime. The winners are Revisions and Astra Lost in Space. It was a tie.
Ooh, that's pretty good. Oh, they like that. They like that.
I wonder how Narrator sound is going.
Bottle 4?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Someone should find him.
We should find him. This brings us to a very special award.
Yes.
It's an award which tends to have people going about it.
I don't think I've ever.
Going to the character when they do something silly.
I think I've said that.
And
We all have.
occasionally it's had us go,
That's a man's head.
That did happen.
That is, yes.
this is
the award for best isekai. We have dubbed it the Truck-kun Award
Truck-kun.
because it's in honor of
Isekai delivery
the,
service.
Yeah, basically.
The way a lot of people tend to end up in other worlds is to be hit by a truck.
Yeah,
in
watch
these
out
animes.
for them, guys.
Look both
So-
ways before you cross the road. For
Yes,
God's sakes.
please. So our 4 nominees are Ascendants of a Bookworm, Shield Hero, Kimono Michi, and Cautious Hero. And the winner is Ascendants of a Bookworm.
Yes.
Ooh.
That
Yes.
one wasn't your typical isekai either.
Well, there's not been much typical isekai this year or in
No.
that list.
No, there
And
hasn't.
Oh, a dead draw for second with Rising the Shield Hero and Kimono Michi.
Yes.
Wow,
I have-
okay.
I love wrestling.
Yeah.
And seeing it in an anime form and seeing him suplex everything around him is hilarious.
And
Yep.
while
Yep.
Rise of the Shield Hero was like a very dramatic and compelling story, nothing really compared to like the comfort given to us
No.
by Ascendants of a Bookworm.
That's true. The next one I'm looking forward to, though.
Yes. This is
Speaks to me.
the most comfortable anime award, also known as the Yuru Camp Award. And it is known that for a very obvious reason. If you've seen Yuru Camp, you know. You understand. You get it.
If you've listened to our podcast, you know you get it.
Yes.
We get it.
The nominees are Helpful Fox Senko-san, Senryu Girl, After School Dice Club, and My Roommate is a Cat. And the winner is... Ooh! Senryu Girl!
Yes.
Oh, it is comfy.
It is very comfy.
It is. Even the moments of tension aren't really tense, and
Oh
I'm
no,
sure they
we
were
forgot
tense
something at the
too.
shop.
There were moments of tension. I don't remember.
I missed that, clearly.
It was about
I
a
don't
girl
think
who
there were.
spoke exclusively in Senryu.
Exactly, which is beautiful. It's beautifully
Adorable.
animated too. This brings us to our last award of this segment. And Kenny, I believe the honour is all yours.
The Sensei Award for the most educational. There's been a lot more animes like this now and then, where it's just sort of teaching you something about Japan, life, how to survive in a post-apocalypse.
Which we've mentioned a few times as Japan teaching us a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kenny, we had a lot this year. We did whittle it down to 4.
Mm-hmm.
What do we got?
We have How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift
Mm-hmm.
for general exercise and health. Dr. Stone for how to survive in the post-apocalypse. Ascendance of a Bookworm for how to make a book. And the After School Dice Club for real board games you can go out and have a play of.
Which I was surprised. I wasn't expecting them to be real. We're used
Yeah.
to them being kind of knockoffs.
We
Yeah.
thought that that's what was going to happen, that they were going to do sort of like slight variations of existing board games.
Alrighty. And the winner is... For the last one for part 1 of Best in Category.
Unanimously voted, How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift?
Machio-chan is very happy. And the crowd is very happy. They've gone wild because Machio is the man that you wish you
And
had.
I feel like we need to remind people of what is so... Do we need to... Should we remind people why Machio is so hilarious as a character?
Well, we certainly can. Machio is an amazing man. He runs a gym. He's a bodybuilder. Except for some reason, his head don't quite match the size of his body.
His head is tiny in comparison to his ultra massive biceps, triceps, and every other
Only
kinds of
when
steps.
he flexes as well. Like when he's not, when he's just walking around normally, he's just like a general, anime sort of guy. And then he flexes, and his body like doubles in size, but his head doesn't.
There is a sanity-breaking moment later on in the season where he puts his jacket back on and shrinks.
Yes, there is.
Terrifying to watch, and the
Needs to
anime
be
doesn't linger on it
Yeah.
at all.
It needs to be seen to be believed.
It does. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
Wi-Fi radio.
Patricia, I think I'd like another bottle. What? What? What do you mean I can't? They've cut me off. Do they know who I am? I am the narrator. I am narrator's son. You know what? Forget it. If you want to do something right, you've got to do it yourself. Oh.
I am so sorry. I'm narrator San's apprentice, Jeff. I'm here on work experience. Narrator Sans left the studio and Miss Patricia's gone to fetch him. I'm supposed to read this. Please welcome back your hosts, Kyle, Coco. Oh, that's the girl, right? And Kenny. Oh, and hi, Mom. I'm on radio.
Okay, someone get a crook quickly.
Yeah,
What is going on here?
uh,
Narrator?
I think Narrator San has run
Narrator
off.
San?
And g'day, Jeff. You're doing fine up there. Good job,
look,
kid.
thanks.
Good job,
but
Jeff,
Sorry,
but-
you shouldn't have been given this job.
Well, we need to talk about
Poor Jeff.
the best openings of autumn, which is the current anime season for those playing at home. Though if you're watching this in a couple of days, it might not be.
True.
It might be the 2019 summer, spring, winter.
Yes.
Opposite of what we've got.
Sure, we get there.
We'll get there in the end.
Wait, it's
Yes.
winter, but it's autumn, but it's
But the thing
summer
is, like, because
here.
it's so hot in Australia, from a certain month, you feel like summer hits earlier than it actually.
It always feels like summer hits in
technically has.
November, so
Yep.
it's a bit of a bit disappointing.
It's
in that
one of the
regard.
things which has just sort of always irked me about the December month of the year is that you see videos, movies playing because it's the Christmas season of like snowy streets and Santa Claus riding through the snow, and you're just like, yeah, must be nice.
Must be nice. Nice for them. Nice for them.
Dashing through the snow.
So let's talk about the anime openings of this season. Of autumn, as a
The
matter of
autumn,
fact.
yes.
Firstly, we have Wild Side by Ali, and that's the opening of Beastars. I llove that. Next, we have Motor City by Kenichi Asai from No Guns Life.
Smile. Say she did even though it's too loud. No, she did even though it's jungle. I say she like a depression. It's a
What?
The bass line in that is incredible.
It's pretty mint. Next is the Sherlock entry of the year, Kabukicho Sherlock, and this is Capture by Ego Rapping. Such a fitting tune.
Something almost Bacano about it.
Yeah, there is. And then our fourth entry is Magical Baby Rinth by Da Pump from Welcome to Demon School, Irumikun.
That's it.
There is a bit of Dragon Ball to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do need to make a mention
Yes, we do.
for Kimono Michi's opening because while it wasn't the best, it was certainly memorable.
Yes,
It pumped you
certainly
up.
It pumped you up. It got you ready for the wrestling. It was
It's
just
pretty much the opening to, like, I swear I've seen the opening to New Japan Pro Wrestling, and it looks like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, our winner is... I have the envelope here. And the winner is... Unsurprisingly, Wildside by Ali from B-Stars with a full complement of points.
Incredible.
Utterly amazing.
And watch the original music video as well,
Yeah.
because that is stunning
Now,
as well.
for those of you who haven't seen it and are watching us, are listening to us instead of watching us on YouTube, jump on the YouTube because we do have the video up there for you to have a look at.
It's stop motion. It's
It's
beautiful.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's very worth watching for this
It
sort of
is.
stop motion, because I've never seen anything quite like it. But
Yeah.
maybe I need to expand my repertoire. Who knows?
Maybe. This brings us to the second part of Best in Category. Best in Category.
Yes, we are on to the best sign-in, aren't we?
That is true.
Now, this is a very interesting category.
Sign-in is college-aged, I believe, yes?
Essentially, yes. And it's essentially 25 to 50. It's a
Oh.
pretty wide bracket when you think of what we're used to looking at. But we have got 4 very fitting animes from this year that fit snugly into that sign and glove.
A few of our absolute favorites, of course.
Mhm.
We have Vinland Saga, Carol and Tuesday, No Guns Life, and Love is War.
Now, they're all very good,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
there can be only one.
Occasionally.
Sometimes too.
And the winner is, by unanimous vote, Vinland Saga.
It is just that good.
It really is.
But we're a bit
I agree
biased.
too.
Now, if you haven't caught Vinland Saga, it's on Amazon Prime Video. Go check it out. It is incredible.
Yeah.
A historic drama which takes some liberties with the history side of things, but
Well,
whoa,
Don't,
it's
uh,
you're going to have to. I
Don't
guess.
let your kids watch it.
Don't
though.
let your kids watch it.
No.
Coco, enlighten me on the best shoujo, as you are the token female.
Yes, I am the token of the group. So we've got Best Shoujo and we've got 4 nominees. Fruits Basket, Midnight Occult Civil Servants, O Maidens in Your Savage Season, and Meiji Tokyo Renka.
Now, before we go to the drums, hold on, drummer Melly. There is something we need to point out here. This is the 4 that fit into the shoujo category. There is a 5th, and it wasn't worth mentioning. So
Which one was...
we will not speak its name, and we'll move on.
Ooh, which
fair
one
enough.
is it?
It was
Oh.
messy.
Okay.
Anyway, drummer Than.
Oh, I'm happy. So, the winner is O Maidens in Your Savage Season.
yes, very good.
Love that. I just love this anime so much.
Well,
I'm so happy.
Deals with some pretty important issues which aren't like really much touched on.
It really does.
Plus, it's got one of the best, in my opinion, character arcs, and they're all so different.
They are.
Mm.
They definitely are. And that means that I get to do the best shonen.
Oh, that's
And
hard.
be
You're our
the-
Togen Shonen.
A token shonen.
Token Shonen,
It's
sorry.
the hair.
And I'm not the youngest either, which is the hilarious part. Haha. So, our best shonen nominees are Dr. Stone, Fire Force, Demon Slayer, and Dororo.
This is another one of those ones that I just skipped. I was like, I'm doing this later. I can't do this now.
Let's have a look. Ooh, there is not much in this. The winner is Dororo by 2 points.
Oh.
Dororo is on 6. Everything else is on 4.
Oh.
That's-
See, it was so
that's great.
hard.
It tells you how good of a season we had. We have all voted
Yeah.
for different things for top.
And obviously, like, I know we've already said this, but voting something last in a list of nominees does not mean in any way that you shouldn't watch it. These are the best.
The-
that
these
we
are the best
can-
4 in that genre.
that we consider.
I feel that Demon Slayer still must get an honourable mention in that as well.
Yeah, it definitely does deserve it.
Yeah, it does. So next is best writing.
And Kenny, I believe you are our resident expert on writing.
He is.
as a author and all that. So please enlighten us on what 4 we believed had the most interesting, unique, or I guess culturally defining writing.
Unsurprisingly, heading up the list is O Maidens in Your Savage Season.
Mm-hmm.
Astra Lost in Space for presenting just mysteries and plot twists of just the epic proportions. Promised Neverland for basically taking your childhood and turning it into something terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
And Babylon for
Political
Whoa.
intrigue, mystery, murder. So many interesting and unique things.
all look great in HD. And the winner is...
Ooh, that is not the right award.
Oh,
Taylor.
dear.
It's happened again.
We've had
This
another
is one of
failure.
Been
those
smedged.
things.
Failed launch.
No,
I'm
that
not
is
looking.
not right either. That is not right either.
Found it.
Okay,
All right,
drum roll again.
I bet the narrator's behind this.
He's drunk.
O Maidens in Your Savage Season.
Ooh,
Yay.
that's a good one.
I'm so glad this is winning so many.
That one was rated pretty highly. Everything else was either a 4 or a 2.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
It's just so good.
Now, that does bring us on to, I believe, the Jiraiya Award for most memorable, most emotional moment of the year. And this year had a lot of emotion
So named because
of
when I
Jiraiya.
watched what happened with Jiraiya, I think I cried. Like, it wasn't just a little tear here or there. It was tears streaming down my face
Ugly
for about
cry.
20 minutes. Far out, I was upset.
So was I.
I was
I'm not going to
so
lie, I was in there
upset.
too.
So, all right. Are we ready?
No, I'm never ready.
Jiraiya Award for most emotional moment of the year is...
Wait, you're going to read the nominees?
Yes, I do have to do that, don't I?
Don't you? Yeah.
Let's
I was
start.
like, put the
Okay.
envelope down.
All right, so we've got
She's
Fruits
excited.
Basket, Toru's parents, flashback.
Ah.
Given the performance in episode 9, Dororo, death of Mio, and My Roommate is a Cat, Haru's disappearance in episode 12. And the winner is Fruits Basket, Toru's parents, flashback.
It was pretty traumatizing.
I feel like the writer just took a character and thought, how shall I just make her life horrible?
And
Yeah.
I have a friend who has gone through a similar sort of, well, not during like high school, but recent, a similar sort of loss.
Yeah.
And
Ouch.
oh,
Yeah.
it's so sad.
Well, let's offset that
Yes.
Yes.
with the Red Line Award for the most memorable moments of the year.
Yes.
And all 4 of these
Are award winners.
are award winners. This is all 4 get nominated and all 4 receive.
I feel like that's almost a cheat, but considering what we're dealing with,
They're memorable moments. You can't forget them. So we need to talk about Love is War and the Chica Dance because that was unexpected. And I would like to put out that just so you know, we cannot include the Chica Dance as in the category for best ending because it was a one-off ending.
Why was it just one?
That
Was
should
it
have
just-
been.
I think I
the
know
end.
exactly why, and it is part of the reason I love it so, is because it is sheer manipulation. This was only in episode 3's ending.
Yes.
It conforms to the whole 3-episode rule, so people watching it deciding whether to drop it or not would then get a dose of that catchy little earworm
Yeah.
and would be drawn right
And
back to the series.
The movement
Yeah.
for this dance, the way her skirt moves is something that just entranced me because there's weight to it. It looks like it was digitally rotoscoped or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Low-capped even.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And I think that you're right. It's exactly... It was very manipulative to get people because episode 3, and this is literally the last stitch. Please stick with us.
I'm not even saying that as a negative. I'm actually
a good thing.
genuinely impressed by
I'm
that.
impressed.
It shows that they know their audience.
I'm not even angry. Yeah, that was bad.
Yes, the next one is Demon Slayer, the Rui fight.
Ooh.
Yes, now that's quite a bit later in the series,
You
but
have to cross a lot of territory to get there, but once you do, it is just something majestic.
it's incredible. But no, because it's quite late in the series, no spoilers. So,
Nope.
and This then also includes
This is great.
Vinland Saga and what we like and some others online refer to as the Flying Dragon Boat Incident. Essentially, where they take their Viking.
goes for a ride.
He does. They take their Viking dragon boat over a mountain.
They carry their boats down a hill to charge their enemies.
Yeah, it was incredible.
It's amazing.
And it's just.
And I'm
nuts.
positive I've had an image of that circulating on my computer for at least a few years. I remember
Yep.
showing it to you
Yeah.
guys
Yeah.
ages ago.
Now, that brings us to the last one. And Coco, this is your realm.
Yeah, I really liked Sarah Zenmai, but it's. I mean, I'm not sure if it's something you can really show your children. Of
It's
course,
not something you can really show your adults.
We've mentioned before about the folklore surrounding Kappa, and how they all are after the Shirokudama, and you get to see the extraction in episode 1 of Sarah Zenmai. So at least you know what you're signing up for
I guess
before you dive in like half the season and then get hit with it.
Yes. Okay. So those are our most memorable moments of the year. But that does mean we've got to go to an interesting segment. Regret and forget.
And how we wish we could.
Yeah, and we're going to have to start with our most infamous award. There are no nominees. There is only one which deserves it, and that is the Cabbage of Shame.
Cabbage of shame.
And who do you guys think it could possibly be?
Well, the Cabbage of Shame award stems from the ancient story of good cabbage equals good anime.
And bad cabbage equals
bad anime.
It is
This
true.
is the award
anime.
for the worst animation we've seen this year. And I think with this,
Cabbage of shame.
we can safely say the recipient of this year's Cabbage of Shame award is Mouse-sama Retry for the utter lack of effort put into the animation of that show.
I feel like they took backgrounds from other animes like for cheap and just.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember when Hanna-Barbera shows used to just reverse and reuse their backgrounds, but that was like
During
part
chase
of
scenes and
their
stuff,
their
yeah.
whole like thing.
Yeah.
This looks like that, except it's just.
It's jarring.
You don't
It's
even
awful.
in fight scenes in that you don't even see like hits connect. You see
The After
freeze
Effects,
frames and after effects.
He's been drawn
awfully.
like very minimally.
And there are people online defending it, saying it's a satire. And to those, I have to say, no, it's not. This is a studio's first anime, and that's what they've put out.
Oh.
It's nah.
Satire is.
Oh dear.
I feel like satire is a little.
Sorry, first full-length anime,
Oh,
but
okay.
they've done a couple of OVAs, still not good enough.
Satire. It's like sort of like saying that you're being sarcastic on a text-based format on the internet. There is no sarcasm font.
Yeah, exactly.
No, there's just a /s. That's all
This means we now have to talk about
you can do. The next bad one.
Kenton. Would you like to?
This is the voted Arifureta Award for the worst CG.
Oh, and do enlighten me. Who is winning this?
There are 4 nominees.
Okay.
Arifureta,
Okay.
Arifureta,
Yep.
Arifureta,
Okay.
and Arifureta.
Oh.
Boy.
Oh, and an honorable mention to this advert we saw for Arifureta.
Yes,
And
indeed.
funny how it's named after Arifureta. I do wonder
Mm.
who the winner is of this.
It's
category.
Mouse-sama Retry. No.
Oh.
It is Arifureta, of course.
For just some of the worst use of CG we've ever seen.
It
Ever.
is so funny.
Some of the snake fight, the Hydra fight, they literally stretched the model to make its throat flare. It's bad.
And speaking of stretching, it seems like all of the budget for their animation went to.
A certain scene, which was CG'd and should not have been.
Please stop.
Wow, Coco was utterly devastated by this anime.
I'm
Yes.
affected.
So let's go on to
Infected.
happier. I lie. It's not any happier.
Yeah.
It's just
this
as bad.
This is another bad
I'd
one.
say
This
it's
is
happier by relative.
This is just. So this is the worst character award. We have called it the School Days Award.
In honor of the worst character we have ever seen.
Yeah, what was his name? Makoto?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
he deserves to never be rementioned, and that's where we'll leave it.
Yes. So we have 4 nominees for this one.
Ooh,
So we have Mouse-sama from Mouse-sama Retry.
fitting.
Osushi Masato from Do You Love Your Mother and her 2-hit multi-target attacks.
That was a steaming pile of mother's love.
Yeah. Yeah. Nagamo Hajime from Arifureta. And Liza Reencastle from Abandoned Sacred Beasts.
Now, if you don't know who Liza is, just look for the only piece of fan service in that series and you found her.
Yeah, that's literally... She's like, you know how you have that one Pokemon in like the earlier ones for a HM dump?
Yeah.
That's what
Its
she
only
is.
use is for that one purpose.
Yep.
Oh, that's a side reference.
Yep. So the winner is Osuki Masato from Do You Love Your Mother and her 2-hit multi-target attacks because he
I
is the
absolutely do
lowest
not.
piece of scum.
Yeah. He
My
is a
goodness.
disgusting human being.
He's
But
just-
I would
I
like
mean,
to see.
she
like,
enables him, but
Mouse Summer wasn't far behind.
no.
No.
I mean,
doesn't
he
surprise
wasn't
me.
as despicable. He was just terribly uninteresting.
Well, not only that, he was despicable, but he was
was so
also just
boring and
boring. That show was
mean.
just awful.
He was a bad kid.
He
was a
was.
bad hat, as we'd say.
Now, we need to get on to the best of the worst. The worst of the best. I don't know. This
Do
is
you call them winners or losers in this case?
the worst anime of the year,
Oof.
I think the losers are those who have to watch
which
'em.
we call the Master of Ragnarok Award.
Yes.
Or just simply the Ragnarok Award because that world should be destroyed. The nominees are Mao-sama Retry, Do You Love Your Mother and her 2-hit multi-target attack.
I don't.
I do not either.
no.
WZ
Whiz.
and The Ones Within.
Oh.
And I have this envelope
I
here.
don't want to remember them.
It is not a very good envelope. It is the worst envelope we had. It is torn, it is shredded,
Crumpled.
just like these shows.
Why is it dripping?
Because it's filled with scum. And the winner is, or should I say the loser, for worst anime of the year is Mao-sama Retry on 8 points.
Cabbage of shame.
With Do You Love Your Mother just behind on 7.
How many episodes of Mao-sama did we get through? Drag
Like
ourselves
2.
through?
No,
Well, we did.
feel
We
like
did.
it was
You and I did the
3.
3-episode rule. I think
yes.
think you dropped out on the second one. You were like, nah.
So boring.
And I tried to watch number 4 and I couldn't.
It was.
I
a
just
mess.
couldn't. It's such a disaster. That brings to end the best in category and brings us to our next segment, which is the finale of the show, the Big Bang, the cannonball through the window. We'll be back in a moment.
Kawaii-Fi Radio.
No, out of my way. I've got this. No, Patricia, I've got this. No, I've got this. Jeff? What is Jeff doing in my chair? Did you let Jeff sit in my chair? How dare he? Get out of the way. No. And welcome back to my show. Welcome back to the show, the Kawaii Award show. I'm the one that's narrating it. I'm narrating this one, in fact, that you're listening to right now. Returning to the stage after a battle with some drywall is Kyle and his friends.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
I have some concerns about what's happened to Narrator.
We need to fire this guy as soon as we
I
can.
think he's got lost in the sauce.
lost in the sauce.
Sorry, guys. I hear
Um,
no one applauding that, and they shouldn't.
Yeah, you can hear
Professionals
they're not.
should not
There's some chattering down there.
Yeah.
They're not happy about this at all, and I don't blame them.
drink on the job.
Well, definitely not at
Narrator
that point.
I
Yeah.
was saying it's a night to celebrate, but there's people who celebrate too hard.
There are a bit. But that does bring us to the best ending of the year. Now, this is multiple different across all seasons because let's be honest, it's usually the opening which catches your attention.
The ending is more of like a way to sort of shake your hand, say thanks for coming, come on back.
Yeah, and some of them it works really well for, and so others it's just kind of you wonder if it was more of a throwaway because they wanted to do a certain look, like showcase a certain character, but then there's some which just makes you go, whoa.
They stand out and you just want to hear them again and again. You're happy when an episode ends, but not for the usual reasons.
And we were able to find 6
Mm-hmm.
that we were able to shortlist. there were many more this year.
Yes, we have our 4 key nominations and 2 special mentions.
2 special mentions. Kenny, I believe you were well across this, so please let us know the winners and the nominees and the winner.
Our nominees are Stand By Me by the Peggies for Sarah Zanmai.
Stand by me, お願い僕は強くなれるのから君が今ここにいなくて
Sensational. And the visuals for that.
Oh.
Amazing.
Amazing.
A perfect blending of like the animated characters and their real world environments. Veil by Kenny Suda for Fire Force.
笑わない身をたどったって変わらない今を踊ったって決まったことはあんたを救えないのだ
I challenge you not to groove along to that.
It is very, very groovy.
Now, Hold Me Now by Nye BRXX and Selena Ann for Carolyn Tuesday.
Hold me now, I'm finally fulfilled. This is what my heart's been waiting for. Hold me now, I'm finally fulfilled. Pick me up to dance and pick me up again, 'cause
I mean, it's more sedate, but it's just beautiful. It's really. We found it really hard to not kick that out.
And it's a bit of an earworm if you keep watching the show.
I love the animation alongside it as well.
Oh,
them
yeah,
walking
absolutely.
in time with a beat.
And what's our fourth contender?
Wagamama by Alisa Takegawa for Domestic Girlfriend.
些細な日々の何でもない優しさを大事にしまって何度も開けて眺めている
Sufficiently dramatic.
It was, and my lordy, like both the opening and outro for that show were great.
Yes, you were saying that you thought there was perhaps some confusion that should have been the opening for the series.
Yeah. Because you have a look. It has the opening text with Dome X Kano on it. It's got the beat that it follows is very much in line with an opening song. And if you flip the opening and outro for that for Domestic Girlfriend, they work.
It would still work, yes.
They still work. So it's
We
pretty
ha-
impressive.
We also have the 2 honorable mentions, Dororo's ending song
Oh yeah.
and the Chica dance.
Yeah, obviously, as we mentioned, can't win the award because it is a one-off special. But
A place of honor is
It-
given to it still.
I would put that on a shrine. I would,
Yep.
if I could get a little chica figurine which does the chica dance.
Instead
I
of a
w- take my
ballerina
money.
in a box,
Yeah.
imagine having a chica dance in a box.
I may know a guy.
Oh
that,
no!
That could work.
And the winner is, drumroll please, Stand By Me, the Peggies for Sarah Zanmai.
Stand by me, お願い僕は強く
So incredible! What a song!
Yeah, you guys really have to check it out if you haven't already. The visuals, the lighting, the colors, it's just the most perfect. And they actually marry animation with
With live
real
action.
life.
And the light
places.
reflections. Oh my!
Yeah.
Wow!
Yeah.
Yeah, they show it's sort of like a big CG sort of patterned light display across various pretty famous locales through Tokyo. And the light is dancing off sort of like the rain-slicked ground so perfectly. I love it.
Now, before we get on to the Best of the Year awards and the end of the show, we have to talk about the Hall of Fame.
Presenting the Kawaii-Fi Anime Hall of Fame.
Get her a cannon.
Why do you
Girls
get
love
cannons?
cannons.
Where did you even get cannons?
Why do you not have cannons?
This is one
Because
of the
they're
best
illegal.
songs that's ever been composed.
It is.
The 1812 Overture.
Tchaikovsky, yes! Had to
So
say.
the 2009 series. So the rule is that the anime is out to have been out for 10 years and stood the test of time.
To be inducted into our vaulted Hall of Fame.
And the 2009 inductees are
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
K-On!
Tokyo Magnitude 8.0,
Fairy Tale.
A Certain Scientific Railgun.
and there are also 3 films to induct this year.
I'm so happy this is on the list. Red Line.
Summer Wars.
And Evangelion 2.0.
Isn't that perfect timing?
Yes, it is.
Good films, guys. Red Line is
That's a visual feast.
absolute craziness. Everyone should actually. Again, it's
Never
not for
seen
kids,
it like before.
but worth looking. It's incredible.
Evangelion was incredible for reinventing a series because that was the turning point for the relaunch of the show, what they called the rebuild of Evangelion.
And it would have been a crime not to include Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Frankly, when you were telling me to look back for everything that came out in 2009 and that came up on the list first, this is like, oh,
Well,
yes.
yes, obviously.
It's just one of those animes which hits every right note.
They're all wonderful. K-On!, personal favourite of mine, have the manga.
Yeah,
Have the
K-On! is
CDs.
wonderful, especially if you like music. And if you're a musician, you'll notice that it's animated very, very well.
Very accurate.
Yes, and I have to say, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, wow, just
And
has everything.
And Fairy Tail.
Yeah.
One of like the better shonen.
Which ended this year. 10 years. It actually only lasted 10 years. That's unusual. We're used to them going, it's way over 10 years.
I don't know. Like you say, only 10 years, but I feel like something should just have a satisfying ending like this song.
Yeah, it does.
You can't beat it. You just can't. So yes,
These are the Hall of Fame 2009 inductees. We will be getting more and more of them on our website once we got it up and running for the new year. But we will leave you with cannons. Best of the year.
Why do you even have cannons?
not
I don't
even
know.
cannons, but bells as well.
I've got all the jingle jangles and the boomy wrangles. Don't know where that's going. I don't
Why
think the
doesn't
audience likes
anyone?
it.
Well, I just answered my own question, really, in my head.
Why doesn't anyone have cannons?
Why doesn't anyone compose music with cannons anymore? Obviously, OH&S.
Yeah, yeah. The
Hate
answer
them.
is straight away. So it is the best of the year, and these are the best shows, in our opinion, of the year, along with what we are calling the Mal popular vote. We'll explain how that works when we get to it.
Indeed.
So our first one is the best original anime.
Yes.
This is like, it doesn't come from a manga. It's an original idea. And we have 4 nominees.
And this year was hard because there wasn't a lot of original anime.
No. So
They were all good though.
they were. They absolutely were. Carol and Tuesday, Sarah Zanmai, Kabukicho Sherlock, and Isekai Quartet are the nominees. And the winner, best original anime, is Carol and Tuesday.
Yes.
Woo!
Followed by Kabukicho Sherlock, Sarah Zanmai, and Isekai Quartet.
Yes. Well, I mean, Isekai Quartet is a short form competing on the big scale, so
That is true.
it's going to struggle.
Yes.
But anything that makes it into the final 4 is worth watching.
Absolutely.
So there you go. This brings us to the best manga adaptation.
Now that is for what closely follows the manga?
Yeah, so this
or-
is for the animes that most closely followed the original manga and maintained a high quality of story. The nominees are Dr. Stone, Fruits Basket, Rising of the Shield Hero, and Promised Neverland. And the winner... Oh, that's an upset. Rising of the Shield Hero.
Oh my.
This
Okay.
is, once again, 3 points, splitting everything.
That's
Rising
fantastic.
the Shield Hero, followed by Promised Neverland, Fruits Basket, and Dr. Stone. And as much as I love Dr. Stone,
That's a surprising
That's a
result,
surprise
considering
result.
how much we love that show.
Yeah.
But no, this is great.
Rising of the Shield Hero is good.
It is. And it very, very well follows the manga pretty directly.
It does isekai in a unique fashion, which is always a good thing.
There we
is.
go.
Well, that brings us to
A pretty special award.
very special to us.
The Miyazaki Award for the best film.
Now, there were a lot of interesting films out this year.
And
But-
I am so happy to have caught all 4 of these on the big screen. I have
Yes.
to keep saying it because it just always makes me so happy.
Yeah, now, there is a lot that can be said about the films that came out this year that we got to see. There's some frustration about the ones we couldn't see, such as Konosuba, which still hasn't had an Australian release. Which is immensely frustrating. But we have been fortunate enough to see the reviews to tell us that it's essentially a triple-length episode and great fun. So,
Which is
Can't
pretty
wait.
much what I want.
exactly.
Now,
What everyone wants.
the nominees for the Miyazaki Award are Promare, such a visual feast, Weathering with You, Children of the Sea, and Dragon Ball Super Broly. Envelope, please.
It's a big one.
And it is Weathering with You.
Lovely.
And that won by a pretty long shot.
Oh, wow, too. Crowd approves. It's a win. It is a win.
It's a great movie.
This brings us to what we have called the MAL Popular Vote, short for My Anime List. This, we have a look at all the shows that have come out this year, and just before the show, we get their ranking based on the votes by the viewers. Now, there are many which just failed to get into the top 4, and they are in the honourable mention list, of course. So, in no particular order, Coco, who are our 4 nominees?
We have Promised Neverland, Dr. Stone, Kimetsu no Yaiba or Demon Slayer, and Vinland Saga.
Ooh, strong
And-
competition.
Honourable mentions, Beastars on an 8.42, Love is War on an 8.42, Fruits Basket on an 8.32. So this lets you know that our 4 our top nominees are all above an 8.43. That's high ratings, especially for shows that have come out that same year. Normally it takes a few years for them to climb it. So, Coco,
All right.
what was the top score and who had it?
Top score belongs to Kimetsu no Yaiba, which got an 8.92.
Whoa. Promised Netherland came in second with 8.69. Finland 8.61 and Dr. Stone on 8.49.
It's in good company all around.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Alrighty.
I mean, we pretty much predicted that Demon Slayer was going to do well this year. It was celebrated as basically the golden child of shonen.
It really was.
And so Mal did their popular vote. And
Yes.
so did we.
Yes. We did our popular vote, and this was hard.
Very.
We got it down to 7, and then we had to get it down to 4. So first and foremost, the honourable mentions. Dr. Stone, Fire Force, and Demon Slayer are in our honourable mention category, but did not make the final 4. This is the big one. The final 4 nominees: Vinland Saga, Dororo, Kaguya-sama Love is War, and Beastars. The envelope,
Who's
please.
gonna win? Who's gonna win?
I wonder when the drummer will get tired. So just wait him out. Come on.
give him-
Come on, mate. Alright, let's do this. Enough. Oh, it's close.
Who won?
Boom. We have a tie.
Oh, really?
This year's winners are Kaguya-sama Love is War and Beastars.
Oh,
This is... We all voted completely different.
really?
There is none of us have done the same. Kaguya-sama Love is War and Beastars are on 5 points each. Vinland Saga and Dororo on 4 points each.
Oh, what close competition.
Wow. That's it.
that's
Good stuff, everyone.
That's it.
I have no words.
I'm still warm, actually warmer now.
I'm actually warmer because of these lights.
Yes.
I'm dying a bit inside. It's
All
been
these people that are in our studio with us.
Likewise. And I think that is an excellent point to end this year on.
It's been a wonderful year. There's been some incredible shows. We've seen some questionable uses of CG, as we've referred to earlier. And we've also managed to see some really heartfelt tales as opposed to a flood of shovelware, which is a nice change because that was a bit of a concern a couple of years ago. But from all of us here at Kawaii-Fi, thank you so much for tuning in. Like
Yeah.
and subscribe. I've got to say that now,
It
apparently.
has been a very memorable year for us. Thank you all for listening.
Yeah.
We'll be
We'll be back in the new year. And
More stories to come.
yeah, absolutely. But between now and then, enjoy yourself. Have a few drinks if you can. And, of course, watch some anime.
Well, and that's it. It's over. It's done. Go home. Go home already. Actually, what was this all for again, Patricia? Animation? Japanese animation? No. I'm sure this was one of those festivals, one of those things leading up to the Oscars. I mean, they put on that animal movie, didn't they? Zoo something. Zoo what's it? Zootopia. Yeah, yes, that's the one. The kids love it. It wasn't? What was it called? Stars. What is that? That sounds like a bad joke. Did that win anything? What? It did? What nonsense! Actually, you know what? You know who deserves an award? Me. I do. That's right. Me. I deserve an award for putting up with all this pish-poshery. In fact, you know what? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say some of those words you're not supposed to say. You know, the ones that really just annoy everyone, fans and all. It's on this list right here, along with sloth. Who would even say that? That's just crass. Why does that even... Oh, this'll work. This award show is as poorly organized and farcical as Dragon Ball Evil.
Apologies for that. We seem to be having some technical difficulties with Narrator-san tonight. Coming up next on Kawaii Flix, the Vinland Saga Christmas special, followed by an encore presentation of The Wedding of Prince Vegeta and the Lady Bulma.